I'm very excited. You know, from a young guy, from a young kid, seeing guys like Naz and stuff, and cameras like this. I've always wanted to be part of, this game at the highest level, and Brook versus Golovkin is the highest in world boxing. Made the world stand still when this fight got announced. Um, I'm chomping at the bit. I'm it's written in the stars. For me. I'm so excited to be involved in a fight with this much, much media and so much. Uh, what else can I say? This is what boxing should be about.
Don mentioned there that there'll be some fear there. Do you agree with that? Is there a hint of fear when you're facing Golovkin?
Of course, you won't be human if not, and you need that fear. You need that nervousness. You need everything. A mixture of them feelings. Coming into this fight, and when she put that to me, them feelings, you're gonna see someone who's very sharp. Very on the ball. I'm not gonna be taking my eye off the ball at all. In this fight. Because if you do, you're gonna get hurt, and I can't let that happen. It's gonna come down to the mind in this fight. It's not gonna come down to the power. It's gonna come down to the mind, using the feet, the hands, the body, head, using the ring. Poetry in motion. In there, and it needs to be nailed to an absolute T. To get such a win like this.
Do you think he's ever fought anyone like you before?
He's never fought nobody like me. He's never fought nobody like me. He's gonna know real quick in this fight that he's not in with no welterweight. He's in with someone who's got venom in his hands, and he's gonna think twice about marching forward. Everybody he's fought. I would beat. So he's never fought anybody with my mindset either. I was staring death in the eyes a couple of years ago. So I'm going in this fight, smiling. He's just a man with two arms and two legs. And like I said, I'm gonna shock the world in this fight.
What happened to you? You mentioned internally. Does it make this sort of challenge easier for you? Do you think you're ready? This is just what was
Absolutely, and when I come out of the hospital and I was sat in that wheelchair looking out, just seeing birds fly, fresh air blowing at me. It was a weird feeling to explain, but this is, I've like I said, when something like that happens to you, your mindset is completely different afterwards about life, and that's why in this fight, that's why I think it's written in the stars for me to fight such a feared man, and everybody's going to be so gobsmacked in this fight when they see me with all them belts wrapped around me after the fight. Like I said, I'm a different character to normal people, and with that alone, and me being unbeaten and always finding a way, and I'm not really in fear of his power. All roll into one. It's gonna come together in the night. You're gonna see a different animal in me.
Just one final one from me. Do you agree with Eddie is number one?
I'd have to say he is. He's been taking care of business with such ease with everyone he's been put in front of. He's very feared, and I definitely have to put him way up there in pound for pound list, number one. Yeah.
Why do you feel like it's been difficult for you to big fight or big name?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of politics behind these fighters. Maybe they do, maybe they don't want to fight me, but I think it is people behind them what's bubble wrapping them a bit and making safe wins for him. I don't like. I think champions should fight champions. Because we don't want to see a one-sided fight. We want to see the fights where people can't pick them. People can't pick them like the Mayweather, the Pacquiao's. Like, who's gonna win? Massive. I want to bring massive events for the fans. And instead of them fights where who's gonna win.
When you talk about this Canelo, how do you compare this fight to this fight?
You know, I think Amir Khan were going up in weight and putting the weight on. Actually, I'm coming down to make 160. You know, I'm naturally a bigger guy. It's really hard for me to make 147. You know, and there's no secret about that. And he ain't got the chin I've got. He ain't got the toughness. He ain't got the power I've got. It's a complete different fight. You know, with me in there. You know, and you're gonna see that on the night.